Tired of the spin? Sick of the noise? BS with Joe. Cutting through the show, truth bombs drop. Now everybody knows. Red, white, blue, but never just one view. It's the real, raw take, straight to you. This is BS with Joe. Let's get into it.
All right, this is BS with Joe. I'm coming into camera now because I had to go turn it on.
Hello.
We got a new video format that we're trying, to where we're more interacting with you, the audience, instead of looking across at each other.
Yeah, because I watched some of the videos and I was like, we never look at the camera.
Yeah. So right now, I want to go over, are we at tipping point with anger and violence with the left in the country? Because I think the right is just, working hard, trying to get things going. And yeah, we're even a little angry, I think, because we want things to happen faster.
Right.
I want a better lifestyle. I want, things to be cheaper. I want to have a better future for our kids.
In my opinion, a lot of the problems that we're having is the left fighting back so hard it's stopping things from happening.
Right, like Epstein. Like, I honestly think we had a previous episode where we went into the Epstein list, and that was, I think, completely trash, and they can't find it because they bombarded it with a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Now, that's all we're going to say on that, because you could refer back to our previous episode.
Right.
But what I'm talking about with this is recently there was a fight in Cleveland, and it was like a bar fight. And this one guy, he got, it was a fight between two individuals. Okay, let them fight. But as the fight ensued, one individual fell to the ground, and other people started stomping this guy.
People that weren't involved in the fight?
No, they were just partied with the other people in the other fighter.
Well, I mean, that's not cool, but... I mean, they're both going to be charged with assault and battery anyway.
I hope. But I honestly think the other individuals should be, the whole group should be arrested and charged.
Yeah, everybody.
Because that could even be considered attempted murder when somebody's on the ground and you're stomping on their head.
Well,
That may be a little aggressive.
They could even be charged with inciting a riot.
Inciting a riot. Because then there was another individual that tried to help stop this.
Mm-hmm.
They beat him. And
yeah, that's inciting a riot.
Not only that, but then a woman tried to stop this, and it was all starting to boil down. She gets laid out. She is completely unconscious.
This is where did you find this video? YouTube or
YouTube and
X?
X.
Okay.
I wanted to say Twitter and
yeah.
Twex. But yeah, it was on X.
You said Cleveland?
Cleveland.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah.
Not right now, but
But yeah, and they almost seem like it was racial. I don't know if it was racial or not, but you could definitely see how, there's a lot of individuals just boiling over. Not only that, but I see a lot more videos of individuals, just super angry. You also have the Walmart stabbing. This individual stabbed 11 people, and a good guy with a gun stopped this individual.
right.
That's one of the best reasons why, good guys should be armed.
That was here in Florida, wasn't it?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure where that happened.
Because he was an open carry.
Open carry?
Yeah.
Well, open carry is in Florida. It was concealed carry in Florida. It's Florida. He probably had a CCW. Or, it's legal to concealed carry in Florida.
Yeah.
You can't open carry in Florida. But yeah, there's a big boiling point on all this stuff. And I think a big part of it is also they're cutting back on a lot of EBT assistance programs.
Well, people that were never really eligible to receive it to begin with are being cut off.
Yeah. And
people that have made their lives revolve around EBT and welfare and Section 8 are finding that the teat's being shut off.
It should be. People need to go to work.
Yeah.
I work for a living. I've never
the whole point
collected unemployment.
The whole point of those social
with
programs
COVID,
is to help you get back on your feet.
Yes.
Not to give you an entire life where you and your 6 kids can sit at home eating bonbons.
Right. And
that are paid for by the taxpayers, in a house that's paid for by the taxpayers.
Well, here's the thing. If we were all sitting at home eating bonbons, who would make the bonbons? Who would build our homes? Who would keep our houses in good shape?
Exactly.
I know who. Illegal immigrants. We could bring them in, pay them slave wages, and have them work for us. That's what it feels like it's been happening.
Not to mention the gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering, so that way they could get more people in office.
I just recently
I'm sorry,
saw,
I'm going around.
I know, it's a slight tangent, but on that subject, I just recently saw a news article that was talking about if all of the illegal immigrants are rounded up in California, they lose 3 congressional seats.
Yes. And that's just California.
Right.
Well, you also
That's
look
a
at...
huge number of people that are here that shouldn't be here.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, you look at just under the Biden administration, the number of people that came across illegally.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's more than some of the smaller states.
Yeah.
That's more people came across in those 4 years than the whole population of Wyoming.
Yeah.
And Wyoming's our smallest state in the
Right.
union. As far as population.
Population. Rhode Island's the smallest.
Size. But Rhode Island's got more people than Wyoming.
Yes, it does.
And the part of the reason why we allowed immigrants into the country, and these weren't even illegal immigrants, it was to work the farms. Because most Americans wouldn't do that. And this is at the time when we had plentiful jobs in our country.
Also, there were things happening in Europe and other parts of the world that we believed that was the right thing to do was to look. Like when the potato famine was happening in Ireland, a whole bunch of Irish people came through Ellis Island, and they were welcomed with open arms because, hey, come on in. We got jobs. We got opportunities for you. We're not experiencing a famine. Come on in.
Right, and we also need a surplus of people.
We did.
Because we were expanding our country.
At the same time, a whole bunch of Italians came over because of the same issues. Their government and their society in Italy was having difficulties.
Well, and I get that with if a government has like Cubans come over because they're under a communist regime.
Exactly.
China, as long as they're not a spy, come on over. The reason why I say that is because they understand what we have in our country or they will find out because they don't understand until they're here of what makes our country so great.
The other thing is these people are coming here for the opportunity. They want to assimilate. They're good with learning the language. They're good with becoming an American citizen. They're good with following the rules and abiding by the law.
Well, and our original immigrants that came over legally in the 80s for farms and stuff like that in California, they wanted to assimilate as well.
And they did it legally.
And they also were sending back some money back to their families in Mexico.
They were, because one farm worker, they weren't paid a great wage, but they were paid a minimum wage. But that minimum wage was enough for someone living outside of Mexico City or Escondido to support a family of 6.
Right, and at that time, our country had no other competitors when it came to manufacturing, agriculture. We had no competitors, and so we had an abundance.
Right.
So we were sharing the wealth.
Yeah.
Now come to today's standards. When an American can't even afford to live, they can't afford to have a house, a home, a car, barely afford rent and a used crappy car, there's something wrong. Because they cannot get government assistance. Because if they get government assistance, that's supplementing the taxes that you're getting from the person. That's creating the GDP.
Now, so something happened around 1970. And I'm not really sure what I was actually just starting to research this. I hadn't really gotten into it that far yet.
It was probably with Jimmy Carter.
It was, but well, no, this was before Carter.
Well, with Ford.
1970 would have still been Nixon, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, Nixon. Yeah.
But anyway, if you look at the chart that shows the average income, and then the average cost of living, the cost of living pretty much stays, at a growth.
A growth.
Whereas the average income flattens out. And the change happened in 1970. If you look at that graph, that's the split. It's 1970.
Well, I think that's when we were no longer we were totally. I think that's when you couldn't use gold as tender anymore.
That is exactly. Well, the gold standard had already been killed.
In the.
But Nixon made it even a bigger change.
Bigger change. Yes, that's where you literally. I don't think you could.
Yeah, that was the thing exactly. When the gold standard was completely removed, is when all of a sudden wages could not any longer compete with the cost of living, and they couldn't stay with it, and they won't.
Well, also it also I think coincides with government spending.
That too.
But back to
we got off on a tangent there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Back to the whole thing is with today, and we like farmers need pickers.
Yeah,
you still need pickers today, strawberries. But what we're seeing, especially with artificial intelligence and automation, we're going to have that all automated. And if we don't automate it, and this is honest to God truth, if we don't automate it, we're not going to be able to compete with other countries.
Yeah.
We have to compete with other countries. Because we have to make cheap goods, not only for other countries, but for ourselves. Because if other countries are able to outcompete us, then we're truly not.
Just as an example, look what's happening in California with the minimum wage.
Oh, yeah.
18,000 jobs are lost because a lot of companies like McDonald's got rid of a lot of their employees and automated.
Right.
They have one person working the counter, and there's 4 kiosks where people can place orders.
Yeah. And automation, it's so that way the company can make more profits.
Yep.
All this other stuff. Now,
well, they eliminated 3 or 4 employees.
Right. Now everybody's saying, "Oh, but we need jobs." But burger flippers, really, or people working at a cash register.
Yeah.
Well, we could set those individuals up for being able to have a more skilled labor job or a skilled job.
There are programs, and to be honest with you, so somebody that graduates college, okay, let's say they went to, Penn State or U of I or Florida or whatever, a good school, right. And they graduate with a degree in philosophy and psychology, okay? They go out and they find themselves a job, okay? And they're broke.
Yeah.
They've got student loans out the yin-yang, and they can't make $40,000 a year.
No.
Now, the same person from the same neighborhood didn't go to college. He went to, let's say, Florida Tech and learned to become an HVAC technician or an electrician. That guy's making $100,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, you look at UPS drivers. They make a lot of money. Now, they're also probably going to get rid of the union because they're
having trouble right now.
Yeah, they're going to be cutting some heads off at the company.
Yeah. Well, the union pushed a little too far.
Right, and that's also what I'm saying. If you look at a couple of months ago or a year ago about the dock workers union, you look at China, half the dock is all automated.
Right.
And the union had in their clause no automation. Well, then our docks is going to charge more for goods for Americans or more for goods that go overseas to compete with foreign markets.
Right.
Because dock workers want to make more money. No, we need the automation. But yet, with the automation, you're going to have more skilled labor because now you're going to have technicians that know how to do all these automations.
Because those automated machines are going to need programming. They're going to need maintenance.
Yep.
Those are other jobs. They're not the same jobs. They're other jobs.
They're other jobs. There's always going to be jobs. And to be honest with you, if there's less jobs but more income, that means, guess what? You don't have to have a 2-income household anymore. Somebody can raise kids.
The problem is, it's a capitalist society.
It is.
We're never going to get back to the point where a single income will support a household.
But I could see it as a need because if you look at birth rates, Gen Z is not having kids.
No, they're not. But I mean, call me cynical, but I think I'm more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
The corporate, when you've got a CEO that's making 50 times what their lowest paid employee is, they're never going to take care of their employees.
Right, but you're also selling products. If there's no one to buy your products, you're going to have to bring in somebody into the country to buy those products.
Right. Well, let the other companies pay more. We've got to take care of our shareholders.
Right, and I get that fiduciary duties.
Yes.
But you got to also look at in the long game. You gotta make a profit, but yet you also have to sell.
Yeah.
Now, if there's fewer people, there's going to be more competition. More competition, that means you're going to have to cut your prices even more.
Possibly.
Or
improve the product.
Right, and I think the biggest problem is, and this is where I think we have a lot of depression in our country and all this other stuff, is because people can't get together. People can't be together. If two income household, both people are working 50 hours a week and they're not seeing each other at all, who's raising the kids? Schools?
Yeah, that's
YouTube?
a problem. That's a problem too.
See, and this is what I want to fix. These are the discussions I want to have to not fix it, but to address it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it. I wish I knew.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Right. And I think there's a lot of Americans that want this. I think everybody wants a little bit better mental health.
When we've had a lot of scheduling problems this summer. When we actually get to sit down with Mike Scott, we'll get into this.
Yes. I've been working a lot, and I know you've been working a lot. Yep. It's making it difficult.
It is. When we're working 6 days a week, that one day off, it's got other things that has to happen.
I don't know how we're going to title this because we've had so much that we talked about, but boiling over violence, and I think if there was a little less stress with income, there would be less violence.
I don't know. I mean, some of the violence is completely unrelated. I mean,
you're right, but at the same time, I think a lot of it is just so much anger off what happened politically with the last election.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into that in this episode.
No. All right, so like, share, subscribe, make a comment. I know I probably go off all over the places whenever I lead a topic, but I'm working on that.
If you do watch this video, tell us where you're from.
Yeah, give us any information. Tell us what you want to see more of.
Yeah. Or less of. I know I could lose some weight. You'd like to see less of that.
You're not the only one. I can lose a lot more weight too.